Hello everyone. Today we are going to start our first session basics of Excel. Excel is a spreadsheet based tool developed by Microsoft in 1985. It is used to store the data, manipulate the data, you can perform calculations, you can create financial models, you can perform data analysis using charts, graphs, pivot, power pivot and so on and so forth. To start with Excel, you can open Excel in multiple ways. First, in case you're a window user, you can right click on your desktop, go to new, and under new you have an option of Microsoft Excel worksheet. If you double click, you can open the Excel. Second, or the other way to open the Excel is you can simply search for Excel on the taskbar and you can open it from here. Now, as I stated, Excel is a spreadsheet based tool. It means it has rows and columns, or the data is in a tabular format. What is a row? Row means when the data is being placed horizontally. When I say horizontally, it means like this. Let me highlight it. And the column means when the data is placed vertically like this. Let me highlight it. The intersection between row and the column is known as a cell. Let's highlight it with a different color. And the combination or collection of more than one cell either in a row or in a column is known as a range. Let me highlight. If I select this row or rows like this, or if I select column like this, or if I select both together like this, is known as a range. Now, how can I see the name of a given cell or a given range? So if I put my cursor on this cell or any other cell for that matter, you will see there's a box says name box. This says G13. G means the column and 3 means the row. Similarly, if I put my cell cursor here, it says J21. J is the column and 21 is a row. So that's a name of a given cell. So similarly, if I select this particular range, so what is the range that I've selected? How would I name it? It's like F14, that's the first cell of the range, and the last cell of a given range, that is I18. So if I say equals to, which defines a formula, if I say this and select this whole, it will give you F14 to I18 and it will select the range automatically. So that is what the rows, column, cell and range means. Let's talk about the data types now. Now, data type is very much important in any application you talk about to understand what kind of a data it is and what can you do with that data sets. Data types. So let's put it. First one is integer, int. A whole number like 1, 2, 10, 100, any number, any whole number is considered as an integer. Now second is float. Float means the value with fraction, like 1.23, you put it as 8.9. Any number having a fraction or having a decimal is a floating data type. Third is Boolean. Boolean have only two values, true or false, or we can also say 1 or 0. Fourth is date and time. Now if I say equals to, there's a small function on that today, it will give me today's date. Don't worry about the functions and the formulas, we'll go in deep on those topics. So it says today is 8th of May and you can see the date appearing here. Note that if I go and change the format from date to journal, says no specific format, it will switch the date format to more of a number. And where this number coming from? In Excel, the date is being calculated from 1st of January 1900. So if I say this as in the date, let's put it as today, minus this date plus 1, you got 8th May 2023. Similarly, every time you have a date and you switch it to a journal format which is a number, and it happens number of times that when you kind of import the data or export the data, the formats do change from a date format to a journal or a number format. In those cases you can switch to, if you go to here, again we will talk about this in later sessions, but you can go and select the date, short date or long date as per the needs. Now that is what the date type here. Now fifth one is a text. Now text consists of basically three different types. One is like alphabets, or you talk about any name, anything in that matter is considered as a text, like ABC, anything like that. Or if I say A12, which is alphanumeric, is also considered as a textual datasets or data type. Third one within this is symbols. If I say $, hash, any such symbols are considered as a textual data type. Let's put some examples here. 1 2 3, let's put as true, then ABC 1 2 3, and let's put some date. Let's put today's date only. Now these are 5 different ways we have written the different data types as we just discussed. And in terms of how can I kind of identify which data type it is in a given data set, how would I do? If you look into the alignment, when I say alignment, it would be left, middle or right. All the numerical values will be aligned to right. All the Boolean values, is true and false, will be aligned to middle. All the textual data type will be aligned to left. And as I stated, ABC or alphanumeric will also be considered as a textual data type, so it will be having a left alignment, and date, which is on the backend, is considered as numerical data, is assigned or aligned to the right side. Now let's talk about the difference between a shortcut key versus hotkey. So what is a shortcut key? Shortcut key means, and there are two basic elements or basic keys that is being used as a part of a shortcut keys, which is shift and control. Now let's put some random example. Let's take A and just copy it over a few cells. Now the purpose or the use of shift is, if I put my cursor here, shift with any arrow like right, left, up or down, if I say move to the right, you see it is selecting one cell. It is moving only single step, single row or single column. Now see, it's moving only single step. Now if I go down, it is selecting single row now, but the movement is single. So the shift is used to select the cell. If I move to the left, using the left arrow, if I want to move to the up, using the up arrow, it's selecting those cells where I'm moving. So that is the use of shift. So it helps in selecting the cells, but it moves only single step. Now what is the use of a control? So if I say control, again using the arrows, if I go to click on the right arrow, you will see it moved to the right most cell having the value. If I say let me delete some value from here, or let me delete this value, going back on the same cell, the first cell here. Now again, if I use a downward arrow here, it will end to a cell having the value. It will not bypass that empty cell and move to the last cell having the value in the given instance. So if I have to move further, it will again down, and it will again move to the value having the move to the cell having the value. So example, if I'm running on an empty sheet, another use of control, if I say control downward arrow, it will give me the last empty cell, similarly like this. So I can move around using the control. Now the great power comes when you use the shift and control together. Again, going back on the first cell, if I say control, shift and right arrow, it will select all the cells till you have the value. Similarly, if I go down, it will select everything as I go down in the given data set. So that is the power of shift and control, and that is what we call it as a shortcut key. Now there are multiple shortcut keys, and it is always recommended that in Excel you should use shortcut keys rather than using a mouse to perform any action in Excel. Now some basics of shortcut keys used along with control is control plus C, that is to copy, and I would say let me add some more before that. That is control A, that is used to select the data, C is to copy, Control plus V is to paste. So these are the very basic keys, and as we move along with the sessions, I'll walk you through more shortcut keys, and again you should learn those keys that is being used in your day-to-day operations. So if I put my cursor here and say Control A, the system is smart enough to understand what we need to copy, or the region that is where the cursor is. But if I say no, I want to copy the whole sheet here, I'll again say Control A, it will select the whole sheet. But for at the moment I just want to select this region, so Control A, then Control C, it says it highlighted now, and if I go to sheet 3, I'll say Control V, and it pasted the data. So Control A is to select, Control C is to copy, and Control V is to paste. So that is what we call it as a shortcut keys. Now what do we mean by hotkey? So the time, again it's for the window users. If the time you click on, or when you select or press Alt key on your keyboard, you will see that some alphabets and numerical values are highlighting on the top of the ribbon here. And the time I say I want to get into home, I'll press H, and again you see all the options, all the features that exist within that particular tab of home. It's being highlighted with some or the other characters like A, B, C, or numerical values, or the combination of some characters. Now if I say I want to kind of have a border to it, and you can see this, there is a border option given here. The time I click on B, again I see a lot of options being given there. I want to say I want to have all borders, so I click on A, and as you can see that it has kind of given a border to the given selected cells. So that is what the hotkey is. Now let's talk about a very important concept of autofill and flash fill. What is autofill? Let me put some examples here. Let's say you have January, February, March, and you have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You don't need to have 3 values, you can have 2 values, it will still work. I'll select these two, all the 3 values, January, February, March. This is the small square icon is also known as a fill handle. The time you drag it, you see it says November, December, again January, February, March. So that is what we call it as autofill. Similarly, if I say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I want to see the whole week, I'll simply drag it. You can see that Thursday, Friday, one sec, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let me see what's okay. It should be TUES. Now if I further drag it, you see it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and all. So again it is doing. So this is by default set in the system itself. Similarly, if I say 1 2 3 4 5, it will further drag it. Let me put it for example. If I further now use this fill handler, and see the values are changing, and I can drag it to any value I wish to. But this is not limited to what is being given in the system. You can also create your own customized autofills as well. You go to the file, under options there is an option of advanced. If you scroll down, you will find there's an option to say edit custom list. So example, I want to have, I'm using some list on a day-to-day basis, I want to create that custom list in the system. I can do it from here. Let me create a list. So let me just go back and put some names. So example, I want to give a autofill for some fruits randomly. Let's put orange, let's put mango, lemon, let's put some values, let's put some grapes, etc. So if I say add, you can see it appeared on the left hand side. Now if I click OK, let's try it out here. Let's try out. So we have orange, mango. Let's change some typo error. Let's try to drag it now. You can see it is giving me lemon, grapes. So you can create your own custom list in terms of you want to drag it or autofill it every time you want to use it. Now that is what we call as an autofill. Now in terms of flash fill, let's take some random example, a very basic one. Let's put as a first name and last name, and let's put email address or email ID for that matter. Now let's put some random again names: Mohit, Gupta, Ankit, Agarwal, Ritu Sharma, and let's put one more name. Let's put as Mohan Gupta. Now let's assume that you want to put email address for all these 4 names. As of now it is 4, but it is possible that in your work, in your operations, in your job, you want to kind of fill it for thousands of names. And the logic says that it will look at the pattern and then give you the fill automatically. So let's take a look. So it says Mohit. So it's always need to give some examples before system understands what you want system to do. So let's say Mohit Gupta @gmail.com. Let's put for Ankit. See, the time I say Ankit, system is highlighting that below. If you see, it's showing Ritu Sharma and all. The time I say tab, it will kind of fill all the values with @gmail.com. So that is a power of flash fill. Now another example on the similar lines is like I want to take the initials of these. So MG, AA, and as you can see that it says RS and MG automatically appearing, and the time I say click on tab, it will autofill or flash fill the data. So that is a power of autofill in flash fill. So please, I'll end this session here. Please do like, share or comment in case you have any questions regarding the topic we discussed, or you have any questions regarding Excel. Please put it on comments. I'll try to answer as much as I can. Thank you so much.